Hi, my name is Maya, and I'm going to tell you how I met my stalker. It was a cool autumn day, September 15th, the day we met in our first year of high school. We were both in the same class, and we shared a passion for fashion. He had long brown hair, caramel eyes, and a beautiful smile. I never really believed in love until I met him. On the first day of school, we were 15 people in our class, and our first subject was French. Our professor, Miss Pirot, looked like she was still a student, but she was actually in her 30s and had a great energy. Everyone was staring at her with wide eyes, but not him. He was always busy looking at his phone. I didn't really like how he was behaving in school, and we never really spoke at the beginning. He always looked rude and impolite. The teacher, Miss Pirot, told him several times to put his phone away, but he didn't listen, so she took his phone and continued her lecture. Before the end of the class, we received homework that required us to group up and talk about our lives and hobbies. She told us to choose our partners, and it was hard for me to find someone because I'm an introvert who has difficulty making friends. Usually nobody wants to hang out with me because they think I'm weird and don't belong in fashion due to my style. All I wanted was for the bell to ring so I could leave the class and think about who I should ask to do the homework with. When suddenly I heard my name. He was calling me to come over to his table. He asked me if I wanted to do the homework with him, and I was skeptical about pairing with him, knowing he didn't listen in school and was rude to teachers. But except for him, I knew nobody else would work with me, so I said yes. That's how we started to hang out more and more together. He became my friend, my confidant. For the entire first semester, we were inseparable, calling each other day and night, going out before and after school. We helped each other with homework, and I realized how smart he was. I judged him too quickly at the beginning of the year, but now that I knew him, I saw myself in him. And that's why we were so connected. However, when the second semester started, there were more people who wanted to hang out with him, boys and girls. I was a bit jealous because I thought that since we were together, he shouldn't be friends with other girls. So I told him about it, but he said not to worry, that he was a loyal man and that he loved me. It was the first time he said those beautiful words to me, and I was so happy that I forgot about my concerns. But on April 15th, my dream bubble became a nightmare. After school, I was heading home and saw him hugging a woman who looked older than him. They were waiting for the bus, and I needed to pass by them to get home. I didn't want to handle this situation directly. I was too furious to confront him. I went home, took a shower, and went to my room. My mom knocked on my door and told me that someone was waiting for me downstairs. I already knew who it was because he was the only one who talked to me. I went downstairs and he looked like a zombie, pale face, red eyes, blank stare. I began to worry, asking him what was happening, and then he said that he had seen another woman and fallen in love with her. He started apologizing and saying that he didn't want to end our friendship but couldn't stay in a relationship with me because his heart belonged to another woman. I started crying so much that I couldn't breathe. I couldn't control myself in front of him, and he tried to hug me, but I pushed him back and yelled at him to leave my house. My mother heard me and came downstairs to chase him away. After this tragedy, I didn't go to school for days until my mom told me to face my fear, see him, and move on. So I listened to her. On April 24th, I came back to school, but I was late to my fashion class. We were sitting next to each other, and I was stressed just seeing him. The class ended, and I ran away before everyone else. I sat in the toilet and started crying when it hit me. Why should I cry? Why shouldn't I try to win him back? I knew how his brain worked, what he loved, and how he liked girls to behave. So I wiped my tears, went out of the toilet, and went to find him. he was with his friends. So I sat facing him without looking at his friends and told him, Alex, we need to talk. I got up and started walking, and he followed me. I turned around, hugged him, and said, Alex, I love you, but our friendship is more important to me. I'll put aside my feelings and stay friends with you, if that's okay. He was surprised and started to laugh, saying how I was an amazing, immature woman. I blushed slightly but tried to act unaffected. Weeks passed and things went back to normal between us, even though he had a girlfriend. His girlfriend didn't bother me much because I was confident that I could win him back. I started creating false accounts of many women and men and wrote to Alex, pretending to know his girlfriend's past and how she used to cheat on every boyfriend she had. I knew where she lived because I had been hiding behind her to see where she was going. I was trying to scare her in her own home by throwing stones at her window and putting death notes in front of her door, asking her to leave Alex alone. I only did that for a week and I won. She finally broke up with him and told him to forget about her. It was on the last day of school before summer vacation that he came to me, apologizing and asking me to take him back as his girlfriend again. He said that this woman was a mistake and that she was nothing compared to me. Without hesitation, I said yes. That's how my year ended, with a good grade and with my love. Oh, and by the way, I'm the stalker.